Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Professor Dr. Rizwan Jamil Qureshi, and we are in the lecture number 12 of Advanced Object Software Engineering. And today, first question is, what are the main differences between objects and components? The term object and components are very similar to each other, and we always talk about that object programming is the backbone of component-based development. So what is the component? Component is a collection of objects in which objects are linked with each other. They have coupling, they have cohesion. So we can call them, we can respond them, import interface, export interface, and the boundary between a component and other components is specified. There is a separation between the inside of a component, outside of a component, and thus the component has the boundary and we can implement them through the component interface. The objects within a single component have access to each other implementation, but not outside of a component. A component could have traditional procedures, and we can have global variables like structured programming or like assembly. Components have inheritance relationship. We have parent class, we have super class, and we have child class. So parent is a super, and super has child, and child can come parent, and then it has the child. For example, a class in a component has a super class in another component. The inheritance relation between these components, between these classes exists at the boundary between the component. That means we can import component in another component. The next topic is contracts. So what's a contract? Normally in Arabic we call it aqd, or in Urdu we call it mahda or agreement. Most of the techniques to describe interfaces are normally concerned with signature part. And we know methods in function overloading are stored against a term called signature. Contains the method name, number of parameters, and the type of parameters. We already talked about signature. That signature is used in method overloading. So we can call the correct function two or more methods having the same name but different parameters is called method overloading or function loading, and these methods are stored against a term called signature. Signature contains method name, parameter type, and number of parameters. The method overloaded function is executed with the help of function called mangling. So what's a mangling? Mangling method enables the compiler to call the correct function to pass the desired parameters. According to detail, which is very popular for programming languages, Java, how to program, Visual Basic, how to program, C, how to program, PHP, Perl. According to the detail, the father and son, overloaded functions are executed by their signature. So signature is a combination of method name and its parameter type. The compiler encodes each function identifier with the number and type of parameters, sometimes referred to as mangling or name decoration, to enable the type-safe linkage. So what's a type-safe linkage? That's the next question. Type-safe linkage ensures that Proper method overloaded function is called and the arguments conforms to the parameters. That's the job of type-safe linkage. Type-safe linkage ensures that you call the correct function and the arguments conform to the parameter. For example, compute num1, num2, compute num1, num2, num3, and so on. The contract is a better way to describe the specifications or the behavior of the components. Each class is characterized by a contract that specifies the behavior of its methods, that how instance of the class responds to the messages. For each method, the contract specifies the name of method, the number, type, and the names of parameters, the type of value returned, like if void, no value is returned, the visibility of method, public, private, protected, package. Public means it's accessible to all classes, all methods, all classes. The private only accessible within its own class, and protected its class, its in own class and its child class. And package means it has package access. An English description of how an instance of the class behaves when the method is invoked. So this is much better representation. We have four types of contracts. The syntactical, behavioral, synchronization, and communication are requirements are achieved, are defined through contracts. The main types of contracts, we have basic contract, behavioral contract, synchronization contract, and the quality of service contract. Basic contract provides simple component interface and its operations, whereas the behavioral contract makes it possible to express that how the function will be performed or component will respond when it is called. Not how to do now, it's all abstracted. And synchronization contracts are used so there could be dependencies or synchronization between the caller and the callee. So synchronized contracts specify global behavior of objects in terms of synchronization between method calls. The aim is to describe the dependency between services provided by the component, most commonly used in parallel and distributed systems. The quality of service contract take care hardware level or quality of service level in terms of efficiency, performance, memory consumption, worst case execution time. These are dealt by the quality of service contracts. This is enough for today. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum.